The American Indian Art Show at Becketwood has so many pieces that we actually have 2 rooms of art for the first time since we started our gallery. We can thank Becketwood member Dr. Alan Hopeman, who is an avid collector of American Indian art. Before we get to the paintings, let us take a look at the sculptures in the display case. The 3 pieces are in realistic mode in bronze and alabaster. The smallest of the 3 is by the preeminent American sculptor, Allan Hauser, who just happens to be an American Indian. His corn grinder song reveals a kneeling woman hard at work grinding the hard kernels into meal. She stops for a moment, finishing a phrase of her song before continuing her work. Hauser polished his bronze to a high sheen, giving the woman a unique hairdo as an accent. The city of Santa Fe, New Mexico has honored Hauser with a sculpture garden in which he displays life-sized figures. In the middle of his career, he broadened his style to include abstract works. The earliest piece of art in the show is Rafael Medina's 1956 acrylic entitled Buffalo Dancers. The 3 men pictured are posed in a diagonal line, each attired in authentic dress. They raise a foot as if to indicate the next step. However, there is little actual movement that is really apparent. In contrast, let us look at the 2 paintings by Woody Crumbo, dated 1960, entitled Dog Soldiers Dance and Eagle Dance. There is no doubt that dance is in progress. The figures are swirling in space, attired in brilliant costumes. The brushwork is refined. However, the pieces were printed by the serigraph method, a version of silk screening. Sam English uses 6 figures in his 1980 lithograph entitled Them Indians Standing and Listening. This work moves out of the photographic realism into modest abstraction with elongated figures, each delineated through the use of brilliant colors, long poles, and a few accessories. There is minimal attention given to faces. Rather, it is the tilt of the head that causes us to wonder what they are hearing or possibly seeing. In the same time period, the 1980s, we get the barest suggestion of a figure in King Kooka's piece entitled Winds of Tradition. This is a watercolor rather than a print, and it exemplifies Kooka's marvelous watercolor technique. Careful brush strokes give just a smidgen of toning in the outer areas of the paper, shades of brown and blue intermingling over the figure's body. It is a serenely ethereal concept that leaves us breathless. South Dakota artist Oscar Howe based some of his paintings on the Indian traditions of his Dakota Yankton tribe from the legends of the old people as told to him by his grandmother. His pieces in our display are photolithographs. The wood gatherer shows an elderly woman bent over the weight of her load. At first, we are so involved with the old woman and the surrounding web-like fog that we have to look carefully to see the actual load of wood the woman carries. The web-like area framing the woman is a technique he used in other paintings, which Howe has indicated are traditional forms pertaining to the spider web symbol in tribal art. In Escape from a Massacre, we can feel the terror of the rider and his horse. Blood appears on the front of the rider. The circling web adds to the emotional anxiety of the central figures. The items fastened to the circles look like masks or sharp instruments, and one wonders how the rider feels about the American flag above his head. Strong colors in the web-like circles enhance the entire composition. Oscar Howe was a teacher of the young Fritz Scholder when Fritz was a high school student in Pierre, South Dakota. As an adult, Scholder was a leader of the artists who broke away from what was considered appropriate style and composition depicting American people and traditions which other Indian artists were practicing. Scholder insisted his subject was the American Indian, but as an artist, he had the right to paint in the abstract expressionist style, or for that matter, any other style he might choose for a particular painting. He said that he painted the Indians as he saw them, even if it showed a subject with a can of beer in his hand, as seen in this painting. This next picture, entitled Film Indian, done in black and white, shows the dress of the Indian figure as seen in black and white movies of years gone by. Shoulder's waiting Indian places the figure in a staunch position, indicating a stolid, "Here I am, waiting, waiting, waiting." This, in both composition and color, is quite different from the Sam English colorful 6 men piece we looked at previously. Shoulder, however, did not see the waiting Indian as colorful. But be assured that he did not only paint in black and white. In 1967, he blew the lid off traditional Indian art with a series of paintings depicting what he called the real Indian. He became a leader of what was sometimes called the New American Indian Art movement. R.C. Gorman was born and grew up in Arizona, a member of the Navajo tribe. In his youth, like Oscar Howe, he listened to his grandmother's tribal stories, especially stressing for R.C. the genealogy of his artistic ancestors. He was exposed to the art of Diego Rivera when he received a scholarship to study art at the Mexico City College. He also learned about the lithography process, and much of his work is done in that print style. He painted primarily American Indian women, as we can see by the 5 prints on our wall. This one is entitled Earring. The seated woman dominates the space. If we start following the exterior line around the woman, we soon see that the lines form shapes. The leg area is enlarged by the darker color, but the torso and the head in the lighter yellow, with the woman's arms outreaching holding the green earring, balances the lower mass. Her serene face makes us feel she is looking at a mirror. The color tonalities enhance the total picture, including the variations of the background. Our final artist is John Nieto, a very popular artist. His work is produced in the serigraph print form, making more copies available for his clients. 10 of his works enhance our walls. Nieto, a Navajo Latino Indian, is known for his intense colors. First, let us look at 5 pictures that are a part of a grouping known as the Custer Suite. The Custer figure seems to have fire coloration in his hair and pink tonalities in his face. The green eyes seem to be focused on the future, perhaps the battle which is to come. It may not match our image of an army officer, but Nieto does give him personality. At first, the 4 Indians surrounding Custer seem to be similar with geographic details. Long, straight noses set into egg-shaped faces with an elliptical oval for the mouth. It is as if they are simply shapes as an opportunity for the artist to play around with colors. If we step back, we can see that the variations of strong color, indicating shapes within shapes, do begin to give each individual a personality, an intense kind of quality as they face battle. Nieto made 195 copies of these 5 works, each of which had to be numbered and signed. Nieto is also known for his pictures of animals. Animals with personality, animals with color, with shapes and sometimes movement, as with the 3 pieces that belong to the Olympic Power Suite. When we discover the titles, however, it is not just about colorful animals that he is producing. The titles are swifter, higher, and stronger. The titles help us to see that the artist has chosen these names to comment on Olympic aspects necessary for competition. Again, the artist has made 195 copies of this suite. Our Becketwood community has been given a rare opportunity to see a wide range of the output of American Indian artists. We are grateful to Dr. Hopeman for sharing these examples from his collection.